Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It is Monday, the beginning of a week, and I am with the amazing, incredible, beautifully talented Yvette.
Sorry, Bear is, eating some paper.
Bear's eating some paper. That's okay. We'll just let him eat the paper. So we're here today. It's Monday. We have a great topic. And the question is, is there something right inside of us that we can use that will give us all the answers that we need for every part and every area of our life? Yvette, what do you think?
You just read something totally apart. Oh, Bear. Yes. Actually, we had an amazing weekend watching all these seminars and practicing tapping into our intuition.
Yeah, so we all have had that feeling before. It's that gut feeling that we should do that thing, or we shouldn't do that thing, or don't go there because it just doesn't feel right, or don't be friends with that person because it just doesn't feel right. Don't take on that client because it doesn't feel right. Or on the positive, this feels really right. I think this is the perfect next step for me. We have this guiding force inside of us, our intuition. And how often do we actually listen to it? And today, what we want to talk to you about is tapping into that intuition, because what we'll find, all of us, is that when we do that, when we trust that the answer is right here, not out there, right? We don't have to ask 20 people what their opinion is. We just have to check inside ourselves, and all the answers are right there.
You're absolutely right. So what we did was Saturday and Sunday, we did a 24 hours where we were listening to our intuition. We were listening, we were just following. If something came up, we would make sure that the other took action on whatever that was. And I have to say that I know Mike it was transforming for you on Saturday night.
Yeah.
You had a breakthrough Saturday night. And for me, it was Sunday. It was just really being in that vibration, listening to that gut and just going. And the things that were happening was mind-blowing. I was so emotional.
Yeah, you actually started to cry because you were feeling so amazing.
It was just absolutely amazing what was happening.
So that feeling, right? It's inside of all of us, and what's happened over the years. When we're kids, it's actually in perfect condition. We can just check inside, and the answers are there. We don't question anything. But then, as we get older, because of all these beliefs we picked up along the way from parents, friends, family, we've actually shut that down. And many of us have shut that piece down, which is the gift that we all possess. We were just watching a video this morning, and it had 15 celebrities. They were all talking about how intuition has guided them, and athletes. Phil Jackson, he said it. Oprah Winfrey, she said it. Bradley Cooper, he said it. Jim Carrey, he said it. There's tons of people that kind of live by that, and they're very successful people. And what they're interestingly enough, what they're saying is, I just trusted the voice within and this is the key. When that place inside of us speaks and it's that's what we should do, we have to act on it immediately. Because if we don't act on it, guess what? Nothing happens. Yeah. And not only that, but when we don't act on our intuition, then that voice inside of us, that guiding voice, the GPS that we have that tells us exactly where we need to go, starts to shut down. Because essentially what it's saying is you're not paying attention to me anyway, so I'll just kind of stop until you do. So, yeah.
I think it's pretty incredible because I'm going to, try to keep practicing it. Even today, yesterday, I just kept on taking action, and it was absolutely amazing what that feeling was like. It was okay, you're just really tapping in and listening, and then you get in line with someone else.
Yeah, so this is, Risa, I'm so glad you just said this.
Yeah.
I've not acted on my intuition before and always regretted it. That's so true, and that happens for so many people. There's so many times, like, think about it, right? We get this gut feeling like, oh, I'm gonna get that new job or whatever it is, and then we don't act on it. And then, like, 4 years later, we do act on it. And if we had just trusted our gut at that time, we would have saved like 3 or 4 years and have done it and like gotten the result that we really wanted to in a much faster path. Ultimately, I believe we end up getting the results that we're meant to get. It's just the question is, how delayed is it? And the way to quicken that time is to start paying attention to that voice inside of us. And we all know that voice. It's the voice that whispers quietly, it's peaceful. It's not the chatter that goes on up here that's telling us, don't do that, blah, 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 and it's just talking. It's that soft, still voice that says, this feels right, let's do this. And that's the one we have to pay attention to.
Yeah.
So, any closing thoughts or remarks? Go ahead.
No, before we forget.
Yeah.
And to continue
Yes.
on this, because this we feel is so powerful, and to really help people on how to figure out how to tap into this, we're going to have an amazing guest on Friday. Her name is Jillian. What's her last name?
It's Jillian.
Jillian.
We can't.
Yeah. So anyway, Jillian is an intuitive. Jillian practices this. She's a friend of ours, and we're going to have her on, and we can go dive deeper into this.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that. She's really great. She's like an expert in intuition, and she's going to help us figure out how can we tap in. How can we tap into that place? And I want to talk about what Risa just said here right now. She said, right now, my intuition is telling me that bad things are going on in the world. I'm struggling because there isn't anything I can do about that. So trying to focus on what I can control, but often on the struggle bus lately. So Risa, here's the thing, right? First of all, if we pay attention and watch the news consistently, what we're going to find is that we're going to get a skewed view of the world. And what I mean is, I'm not saying there aren't bad things that are going on, but when we watch the news, what we're seeing consistently is one bad story after another after another. The virus is a bad thing, and there are people that are getting sick, but there's a lot of people that aren't getting sick. There's a lot of people that are healthy, and there's no focus on that piece. There's a lot of people that get the virus, and it's not nearly as bad as they're making it out to be. So again, I'm not saying there aren't bad things going on in the world, but it's like you said, you can't control that. We can't control what's going on out there, but we can control what's going on here. And what my suggestion would be is just focus on what you can control. Everything right around you, your family, your friends, your community, that. Just focus on the things and focus on gratitude, on all the things that we can be grateful for. We wake up in the morning, we're healthy, we have our eyesight, we have all these things and gifts that we have on a daily basis. So, what do you have? Any comments on that?
Absolutely. We practice gratitude in the morning and at night. And when you come from gratitude, it's amazing that you don't have those fears. I don't know. I don't have them come up. And anytime something like that happens, what I do is I sit back down, and I start, thinking of things that I'm grateful for.
Yeah. So let's comment on this last thing, and then we're going to wrap it up. But I don't watch the news, which is fantastic, but it's out in the public, the fear. Okay, so, one of the greatest quotes is, be the change we want to see in the world. So when we live from a place of not being fearful, of trusting that God has our back, the divine, the higher power, not religious, but just in general, there's a higher being that has our back. When we come from that place and we give our concerns over to that force, we're living life in a completely different way. We don't have to struggle with that fear. So, and you know what? Also, this is a suggestion, right? We're talking about intuition. Take some deep breaths, right? This is a great way to get in touch with the intuition. Take some deep breaths, close your eyes, and just ask today, what can I do to feel more peace and calm in my life? And then listen for what that answer is. And then the most important thing is don't just listen, but take action on it.
Taking action is the most important thing.
Yeah,
Listening and taking action.
Take action on it. And I'd love to hear you comment on what that voice said to you, what the intuition said to you, and when you acted on it, what was the result of that? So that's it for today. Tune in on Friday because we're going to have a specialist on intuition and we're going to have a great discussion. Other than that, keep trusting the voice within. That voice will give you the answers. Reset. That voice will help calm us down. That voice will instill reason and love and support for us. It's there for us all the time. We just have to tap into it.
Absolutely.
Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Have a great week. We will see you at the end of the week on Friday. And have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's right.
Happy Thanksgiving, almost.
Happy Thanksgiving, almost.
All right, guys. Have a great
one.
one. Take care.